Diddy is currently sitting in federal prison, and somehow his legal situation is still getting more complicated. Let's go through everything that's currently active, because there's a lot happening at once. Quick reminder of where things stand overall. Diddy is serving a 50-month sentence at FCI Fort Dix in New Jersey, after being convicted last July on 2 counts under the Mann Act. And just this month, he was passed over again for a presidential pardon. So he's not getting out early anytime soon through that route. Now, let's get into the lawsuits, starting with the most recent one. Right now, there's a legal fight over whether records from Diddy's actual federal criminal trial should be allowed into a completely separate civil lawsuit. That lawsuit was filed by a man named Clayton Howard, a former escort who's suing for $20 million, claiming he was trafficked by both Combs and his ex, Cassie Ventura. Howard filed this after Diddy's racketeering trial wrapped up, and his argument is essentially that Cassie was a willing participant in what happened, rather than purely a victim herself. Cassie is fighting back. She's opposing the idea that trial records get pulled into her case, and both she and Diddy have actually asked the court to dismiss Howard's lawsuit entirely. So you've got Diddy and his most well-known accuser, Cassie, technically on the same side of this particular argument, even though their overall history is obviously very different. Beyond that case, there are several other lawsuits moving at the same time. Back in June, a former child actor filed a new lawsuit accusing Diddy of assaulting him at a Hollywood Hills networking event back in 2007, when the accuser was still a minor. Diddy's legal team has denied it outright, saying, in their words, that he's never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone. Around that same time, the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office started reviewing a separate related case involving a music producer named Jonathan Hay, who's brought his own misconduct allegation against Combs, stemming from an incident in 2020. Also, in June, a woman filed a lawsuit in New York alleging misconduct from an incident when she was a minor. And then there's the case involving Rodney Jones, known publicly as Lil Rod, which is still working its way through the courts. That one's hit a logistical snag recently, because Diddy's own lawyers say they've actually had trouble reaching their client inside Fort Dix, and they've had to ask the court for more time because of it. Now, it hasn't been entirely bad news for Diddy's legal team. Back in April, a judge threw out a $100 million defamation lawsuit that Diddy himself had filed, this one against NBC Universal, over their documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. The judge's reasoning was pretty blunt. She ruled that Diddy's reputation was already damaged by all the existing lawsuits, prior coverage, and the criminal case well before that documentary ever aired. So there was no way the documentary itself could be blamed for further harming his reputation. So here's the state of play. A man already serving a federal prison sentence is simultaneously defending against multiple new civil lawsuits, dealing with a DA review of yet another allegation, fighting to keep certain trial evidence out of one particular case, and losing his own defamation suit at the same time. It's a lot of moving parts, and by the look of it, this isn't slowing down anytime soon. Let me know in the comments which of these threads you think is the most significant, and subscribe if you want to stay caught up as these cases keep developing.